soul of the dead beast may inform its fellows of the welcome it has met with, and that they too, cheered by the prospect of the same kind reception, may come with alacrity to be killed. When a Teton Indian is on a journey, and he meets a grey spider or spider with yellow legs, he kills it, because some evil would befall him if he did not. But he is very careful not to let the spider know that he kills it, for if the spider knew, his soul would go and tell the other spiders, and one of them would be sure to avenge the death of his relation. So in crushing the insect the Indian says, "O grandfather spider, the thunder being kills you," and the spider is crushed at once and believes what is told him. His soul probably runs and tells the other spiders that the thunder beings have killed them, but no harm comes of that. For what can grey or yellow-legged spiders do to the thunder beings? But it is not merely dangerous creatures with whom the savage desires to keep on good terms. It is true that the respect which he pays to wild beasts is in some measure proportioned to their strength and ferocity. Thus the savage Stiens of Cambodia, believing that all animals have souls which roam about after their death, beg an animal's pardon when they kill it, lest its soul should come and torment them. Also they offer it sacrifices, but these sacrifices are proportioned to the size and strength of the animal. The ceremonies which they observe at the death of an elephant are conducted with much pomp and last 7 days. Similar distinctions are drawn by North American Indians. The bear, the buffalo, and the beaver are manidos, divinities, which furnish food. The bear is formidable and good to eat. They render ceremonies to him, begging him to allow himself to be eaten, although they know he has no fancy for it. "We kill you, but you are not annihilated." His head and paws are objects of homage. Other animals are treated similarly from similar reasons. Many of the animal manidos, not being dangerous, are often treated with contempt, the terrapin, the weasel, polecat, etc. The distinction here is instructive. Animals which are feared, or are good to eat, or both, are treated with ceremonious respect. Those which are neither formidable nor good to eat are despised. We have had examples of reverence paid to animals which are both feared and eaten. It remains to prove that similar respect is shown to animals which, without being feared, are either eaten or valued for their skins. When Siberian sable hunters have caught a sable, no one is allowed to see it, and they think that if good or evil be spoken of the captured sable, no more sables will be caught. A hunter has been known to express his belief that the sables could hear what was said of them as far off as Moscow. He said that the chief reason why the sable hunt was now so unproductive was that some live sables had been sent to Moscow. There they had been viewed with astonishment as strange animals, and the sables cannot abide that. Another, though minor, cause of the diminished take of sables was, he alleged, that the world is now much worse than it used to be, so that nowadays a hunter will sometimes hide the sable which he has got instead of putting it into the common stock. This also, said he, the sables cannot abide. Alaskan hunters preserve the bones of sables and beavers out of reach of the dogs for a year, and then bury them carefully, lest the spirits who look after the beavers and sables should consider that they are regarded with contempt, and hence no more should be killed or trapped. The Canadian Indians were equally particular not to let their dogs gnaw the bones, or at least certain of the bones, of beavers. They took the greatest pains to collect and preserve these bones, and, when the beaver had been caught in a net, they threw them into the river. To a Jesuit who argued that the beavers could not possibly know what became of their bones, the Indians replied, "You know nothing about catching beavers, and yet you will be prating about it. Before the beaver is stone dead, his soul takes a turn in the hut of the man who is killing him, and makes a careful note of what is done with his bones. If the bones are given to the dogs, the other beavers would get word of it, and would not let themselves be caught. Whereas, if their bones are thrown into a fire or a river, they are quite satisfied, and it is particularly gratifying to the net which caught them." Before hunting the beaver, they offered a solemn prayer to the Great Beaver, and presented him with tobacco, and when the chase was over, an orator pronounced a funeral oration over the dead beavers. He praised their spirit and wisdom. "You will hear no more," said he. the voice of the chieftains who commanded you, and whom you chose from among all the warrior beavers to give you laws. Your language, which the medicine men understand perfectly, will be heard no more at the bottom of the lake. You will fight no more battles with the otters, your cruel foes, no beavers. But your skins shall serve to buy arms. We will carry your smoked hams to our children. We will keep the dogs from eating your bones, which are so hard. The eland, deer, and elk were treated by the American Indians with the same punctilious respect, and for the same reason. Their bones might not be given to the dogs nor thrown into the fire, nor might their fat be dropped upon the fire, because the souls of the dead animals were believed to see what was done to their bodies, and tell it to the other beasts, living and dead. Hence, if their bodies were ill used, the animals of that species would not allow themselves to be taken, neither in this world nor in the world to come. Among the Chiquitis of Paraguay, a sick man would be asked by the medicine man whether he had not thrown away some of the flesh of the deer or turtle, and if he answered yes, the medicine man would say, "That is what is killing you. The soul of the deer or turtle has entered into your body to avenge the wrong you did it." The Canadian Indians would not eat the embryos of the elk, unless at the close of the hunting season, otherwise the mother elks would be shy and refuse to be caught. In the Timor Laut islands of the Indian archipelago, the skulls of all the turtles which a fisherman has caught are hung up under his hose. Before he goes out to catch another, he addresses himself to the skull of the last turtle that he killed, and having inserted the beetle between its jaws, he prays the spirit of the dead animal to incite its kinsfolk in the sea to come and be caught. In the Poso district of central Celebes, hunters keep the jawbones of deer and wild pigs which they have killed and hang them up in their houses near the fire. Then they say to the jawbones, "Ye cry after your comrades, that your grandfathers, or nephews, or children may not go away." Their notion is that the souls of the dead deer and pigs tarry near the jawbones, and attract the souls of living deer and pigs, which are thus drawn into the toils of the hunter. Thus the wily savage employs dead animals as decoys to lure living animals to their doom. The Lengua Indians of the Gran Chaco love to hunt the ostrich, but when they have killed one of these birds and are bringing home the carcass to the village, they take steps to outwit the resentful ghost of their victim. They think that when the first natural shock of death is past, the ghost of the ostrich pulls himself together and makes after his body. Acting on this sage calculation, the Indians pluck feathers from the breast of the bird and strew them at intervals along the track. At every bunch of feathers the ghost stops to consider, "Is this the whole of my body or only a part of it?" The doubt gives him pause, and when at last he has made up his mind fully at all the bunches, and has further wasted valuable time by the zigzag course which he invariably pursues in going from one to another, the hunters are safe at home, and the bilked ghost may stalk in vain round about the village which he is too timid to enter. The Eskimos about Bering Strait believe that the souls of dead sea beasts, such as seals, walrus, and whales, remain attached to their bladders, and that by returning the bladders to the sea they can cause the souls to be reincarnated in fresh bodies, and so multiply the game which the hunters pursue and kill. Acting on this belief, every hunter carefully removes and preserves the bladders of all the sea beasts that he kills, and at a solemn festival held once a year in winter these bladders, containing the souls of all the sea beasts that have been killed throughout the year, are honoured with dances and offerings of food in the public assembly room, after which they are taken out on the ice and thrust through holes into the water. For the simple Eskimo, imagine that the souls of the animals, in high good humour at the kind treatment they have experienced, will thereafter be born again as seals, walrus, and whales, and in that form will flock willingly to be again speared, harpooned, or otherwise done to death by the hunters. For like reasons, a tribe which depends for its subsistence, chiefly or in part, upon fishing, is careful to treat the fish with every mark of respect and honour. The Indians of Peru adored the fish that they caught in greatest abundance, for they said that the first fish that was made in the world above, for so they named heaven, gave birth to all other fish of that species, and took care to send them plenty of its children to sustain their tribe. For this reason they worshipped sardines in one region, where they killed more of them than any other fish; in others